have an affliction on our body. Does it just hurt locally? No, it hurts us all. Our head registers that it is painful, unless there's a serious physical problem. Our head registers it's painful, and we begin to realize, I need to take some things for the pain. Right? So if our wife is in a painful situation, guess what? We need to be aware of it and go and seek to bless her and help her. And get her out of it if you can. Alright? Help her. Be there for her. She's your body. He that loved his wife loveth himself. No man ever yet hated his own flesh, but nourished it. So we're called to nourish our spouse and our body. We'd not cut our body, not when we're thinking clearly anyway. We'd avoid harm for our body. So we nourish it, we feed it, we take care of it, we bathe it, we do all these things. Note that we cherish it. I want you to look. I want you to look at 1 Peter chapter 3 very quickly. 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 7. We're gonna finish up here just in a moment. 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 7, it says this, likewise, husbands, dwell with them, talking to wives. Dwell with wives according to knowledge. Remember, it's not a knowledge issue we're dealing with. It's not a wisdom issue we're dealing with. It's not an experience issue we're dealing with. It's none of these things. It's none of these things. We are to dwell with them according to knowledge, giving honor to the wife. We're to be concerned what they think. We're to listen to them. That's what it is to cherish them, to sit and listen. And just listen. He says, give honor to the wife, notice, as unto the weaker vessel. And so we say, well, that's because she's weaker, right? But this is not exactly, it is what he's talking about. She is weaker, but he's talking about how you view her. Not about her physical abilities necessarily. It's how you view her. What is he saying? You're to view her as a delicate vessel like the finest of china. In other words, we don't want to scrape it. We don't want to nick it. We don't want to break it. It's delicate. It's precious. It's a precious thing to us. That is what it is to cherish her. So he's telling us here to cherish our spouse. You don't treat some things the same. I'm going to pick on you, Brooke Pat. You get that fancy car. You got a nice car, don't you? Yeah. You don't take just any kind of buffer to it, do you? And you make sure the pad or whatever else you got, you don't want to take just anything because it's precious. You need to cherish it. It's delicate. You cherish it. You treat it special in such a way that you don't want to scratch or bang or bruise or nothing. That's how we're supposed to be your wives. As the weaker vessel, in this instance. Being heirs together, this is the same as if it was ourselves, heirs together of the grace of life, that your prayers be not hindered. It has a spiritual ramification to ourselves. Notice this, he says, for we are members of his body and of his flesh and of his bones. Alright, so as soon as either the husband or the wife thinks of themselves as in isolation, then we've broken the idea of marriage and the meaning of it. As soon as we go, this affects me, wrong. This affects me, wrong. How does it affect us? Because we're one. Everything affects us as we're one. As soon as we become isolated in our thoughts, we have ruined the idea, the picture of marriage. It's the same with Christ. As soon as we think, how's this going to affect me, Jesus? We've ruined the idea of Christ and his bride. And that's what he says. And this is what we're going to talk about tonight. I want you to notice this as we begin. He says, for this cause a man shall leave his father and mother, and shall be joined unto his wife, and they two shall be one flesh. This is a great mystery, but I speak concerning Christ and the church. Christ and the church. We're going to talk about tonight. It's not Christ and the saved person. It's Christ and the church. It's two different things. Very important. I want us to get that tonight. Nevertheless, let every one of you in particular so love his wife as himself, and the wife see that she reverence her husband. You know, I'm going to close. I'm going to close with something that I see too often, so often. I see it in family. I see it anywhere I go. Anywhere I go. And it breaks my heart. When children of God are in a marriage and they bash their spouse. Husbands or wives. Husbands or wives. Husbands or wives. Do you bash Christ? Do you go around bashing Christ? Let me tell you something real clear. When you bash your spouse, you bash Christ. Right. I mean, there's family. Family is, we call them good folk. They're good folk. They are good folk. They're my family. I love them. But it hurts my heart. I tell them, I'm clear with my family, and I'm clear with you. Say, you know, my husband, he's good for nothing. I don't hear that. He's good for nothing because you think he's good for nothing. Or my wife, she's as cold as because you made her cold. Stop putting it on them. Do what God has called you to do. Do what God has called you to do as an individual. Because you love your spouse. Because you love your spouse. It hurts, and I believe it hurts the Lord when we bash our spouse. I think it hurts Him just as much as it hurts us when we run each other down as church members. Because we're one body. That's right. Everything I'm talking about today is to be understood. We're going to go there tonight. It's going to be understood as Christ in the church. Everything we dealt with is to be understood as in Christ in the church. I know that's hard for us to grasp, but it's very important. That's why we got to talk about it tonight. And so if we let it go in our husband and wife relationship, that's where it falls into. It falls in the church. It falls in the church. Dangerous place. Let's pray for one another. And let's pray for our spouse. Let's pray for our spouse daily. Let's just have a time of prayer. Let's have a time of prayer, and then we'll be dismissed. And as soon as I close out in prayer, we'll be dismissed. I want you to bow your heads just for a moment. You should bow your heads for a moment. I always worry about these kind of sermons because people think, John, you're getting too personal. It is personal, I know. But we're a body in Christ, so we're one. And we're a body with our spouse, so we're one there too. In your prayer, commit this week to uplifting your spouse. Being there for, say, John, I'm not married today. Be there for your church family. Church. Uplift your church. Uplift Christ. Uplift Christ. Lord, I thank you so much for this day, for the opportunity you give us to come together to worship you in spirit and in truth. And Lord, as we look at this passage today, as we see your words, they are hard. But they're not hard because you make them hard. They're hard because we are sinners. And we have to learn so much when we examine your word. We have to learn how we are to be and what we're to be with. And Father, when I see myself in this, I see my own faults and failures, and I fall down, fall short. And I see it reflected there. I pray to God that you would give us the strength to follow through with your words, to follow true, to love our spouses you called us to love, and to yield ourselves as you called us to yield, to follow these steps, to bring our marriages into a new heights of blessing, to new heights of joy and love. I pray to God that you would be with each and every person here today, their marriage, their families, their children. I pray to God that the youth would hear and grow in understanding and knowledge and wisdom, being able to apply it in their marriage early on one day. I pray to God that you would guide us when we leave this place. Help us to uplift Christ not just by our words, but in our deeds as well. And Father, I just pray that everyone leaves here knowing that they're loved by you, that you have sacrificed all. You've done all to draw us to you. You love us. Father, help them also to know that all. I pray to God that you be with each and every one. Bless them in their life. Bless them in their marriage. Bless them in their families. Bless them in their relationships, I pray. In Jesus' name. Amen. We all stand.